Good evening everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful night or day depending on where you live at. And tonight we are gonna continue the amazing ranking of Monster Girls. So prepare your snacks, grab your favorite drink and let's begin. But before doing that, let's say hello to Tora, welcome to the stream. And for those who are behind the scenes as well, welcome and hope you enjoyed this. So currently this is the tier so far. There's still like 100 more monster guilds to go. That was a lot more. Cycle is probably falling apart. That's amazing. And yeah, here's the tier ranking so far. Still have 4 on top, so maybe you can find the final waifu for the S tier. Where's your glasses? I forgot to put them in. Give me 1 sec. Let me go grab my glasses real quick. Where are my glasses? Whoa. Let me vanish for a sec. Where did I leave my glasses? I can't start the stream without them. I need to read the text, so... Where are your glasses? Oh, I found them. Let me just clean them real quick so I can wear them. There you go, all nice and dandy. Okay, let me come back. Let's go! My glasses are ready. How many monster kills do you think would have been in S tier if there was no limit? Probably around 10 or 12. And not that many still, but a good amount maybe. I'm really trying to contain myself because a lot of the A tier is absolute potential for an S tier. Okay, let me put some music in to get in the mood of this. Better. Nice. Now I can read. Okay, last time we did the lizard girl, so that means we're gonna start with the letter M from now on. Let me move this. Let me get my encyclopedia up. And let's go with the next one, which is the Mad Hatter. And guess what? That thing is not a hat, it's actually a mushroom growing up on her head. But let's read and see what's all about. The progenitor of this race was a Matango that was suddenly mutated, gaining keen intelligence due to a spell cast by the Queen of Hearts. They are human women that transform into monsters after being parasitically infected by a giant mushroom. So yeah, that's a parasite taking over. Instead of becoming a bait as Matango would, they instead gain greater clarity, so they get super intellect and reasoning. So it's a parasite that can improve your skills, but it is still a parasite, so it's gonna modify your way of thinking. You know what else starts with M? Mario. Paladin Co, welcome to the stream. They seem unbecoming of denizens of Wonderland, but just like other inhabitants of Wonderland, they have sex-crazed values, so they are just quiet lunatics. They are able to notice even when they are on the verge of being attacked. The men end up having sex with them. Their brand of insanity is so natural looking that just from observing their behavior, one would almost be deluded into thinking it was normal. The spores are pretty aphrodisiacs for other humans who inhale them, so be careful of that. Oh, it's possible for them to freely remove the giant mushroom growing in their heads. By having sex and obtaining essence with it off, it's possible for them to bring forth a new head, or rather a mushroom. So basically, that's how the mushroom reproduces. Also, the movie of all time, yeah, Mario Bros, the greatest movie ever. Also, my cat is on my lap and he's giving me cute looks. I can't stop looking at him. So yeah, do not wear strange hats growing on the floor, or else you become a Mad Hatter. They're not dangerous. You're gonna have a pretty nice tea time with them. But the thing is parasitic, so if you're a girl, just do not wear the hat. I don't know, they're kind of cute, so maybe I would put it on a B. Because they are not exactly themselves, but the mushroom growing on their heads. Also, let me change the chat. There we go. Are you watching a documentary where the actor for Mario was drunk for most of the filming? Really? That's amazing. Okay, next up it is the... Is that a manticore? I think it's the manticore. I should minimize that one. In 1 sec. Oh, it's the manticore, but it didn't show the mandragora. That's weird. Let me put up the mandragora instead. I hate when the slideshow doesn't show the pic that I want to show. Monster girl images. Yeah, it's not showing. Yeah, change the format and let's show it up. Yeah, there she is. Cute little plant that screams at you and makes your ears bleed. Okay, mandragora. A plant mostly in the form of a woman with roots. They wait for their prey, which is lured by the sweet fragrance released from their flower petals, to come and pull them up. They let out a shrill scream containing magical power. Those who have heard such scream will become temporarily... they will temporarily lose their reason. Okay, by instinct they will likely sexually have intercourse with the mandragora. Okay, that's pretty standard behavior for basic plant monsters. Anything else? The tips of their roots are treasured as ingredients for stamina increasing drugs, aphrodisiacs, and many other powerful magical medicines. Cool. I don't know, they're pretty much standard monsters that will scream at you and you lose your reason temporarily. Not the worst thing, not too excited about that. Maybe a C, because they're pretty much okay in that regard. Okay, now we can move on to the manticore. Let's go. Who are you and what can you tell me about you? A hybrid beast having the body of a beast, bat-like wings, and a tail equipped with a spiny lump of flesh at the end. They're highly intelligent with a cunning and cruel disposition. Being sadistic and infinitely lustful, they enjoy aggressively milking human of their essence. Cool. Their tail can be used for the suck because it has multiple folds, as you can see. They have venomous spines growing on their tails that are used to prevent interference while milking their victim. Okay. The venom will influence their prey into pumping up more goo. Cool, cool. Anything else? Let's see. They will ravish them. They will have a lot of pleasure. The more intercourse they have with a single human, the more they become accustomed to their essence, it seems. So in that regard, if you shoot their goo a lot of times, you are basically marrying them. So if you're into wild super suck from a pretty scary looking tail, they are the waifu for you. I'm gonna put them on a B because their wild nature seems to be pretty hot. Not enough for a fully potential waifu, but it's still better than many other monsters that we have seen so far. And next up is the mantis. Let's go. Okay, it showed up finally, and let's take a look at this. Distinguished by the huge size, they are insect monsters. Normally they dwell deep within the forest, using the sights on their arms to quickly bring down wild animals, etc., and eat them. They are also called the assassins of the forest, and are feared. Cool. It is a very rare for a monster, but should they encounter a human man, not only will they not attack, they will not indicate any interest whatsoever. In fact, they could not care less. Oh, nice. They do not feel anything like emotion, so that explains it. They don't care about humans. Not even while killing animals, they won't flinch or anything. In order to produce children, they must have human seed. That's okay. They only view a human as a tool necessary for breeding, and mating just happens to be something necessary for their survival of the mantis race. They swiftly go capture human from the nearby village. Yeah, I know my mantis lore. I like to keep my head and neck only in one piece. Hopefully this is not the kind that will eat your head. Only your lower head. Yep, they will have the snoo with no emotion. However, when they experience intense pleasure, their body heats up and their brain is overwhelmed by the sweet stimulation. Cool. Okay, natural sex behavior here going on. After that, after having that super amazing experience, they start to live for the sake of living together with their man and having sex. Okay. They're still insects after all, so yeah, you get a waifu that's mostly there just to have the sex with you and maybe hunt you some free food in the as a trade-off. So it's a win-win situation. Don't expect much interaction outside of that. So yeah, I'm gonna put them on a C because yeah, despite their pros, the single-minded character they have is very much on me. At least they won't eat your head, so that's way better. If it was an head-eating monster, that would be an F immediately. Anyway, we have a very thick legs waifu next. Look at those fluffy legs. Let's see. It's called a March hare. The progenitor of this race was a were-rabbit who, so she could live more comfortably, was granted the power of a Metis succubus, the Queen of Hearts, who absolutely adores rabbits. Nice! They're hit all through the year and they're sex crazed. Ooh. Okay, that's scary. I want you to give me head, not take it from me exactly. Please leave both heads in their place. It's a lapony, yeah, but super fluffier on the legs. Imagine getting a lap pillow from those, that would be amazing. Okay, when they come to face to face with a human man, they often misinterpret his words in a lewd direction, perhaps because their head becomes filled with desire for sex with the man right before their very eyes. Okay, so she's the girl that will say at every single chance that's what he said, or that's what she said, and go for the lewdest puns. If a man offered sweets by them, responds with, I want some, I have some, sure, looks delicious, etc. They'll misunderstand it as, I want some of you, I have some in a sexual meaning. Your body sure looks delicious. Huh. The lap pillow would be amazing, yeah. Okay, holy shit, what the fuck is that? That's the best lap pillow you're gonna get ever. Also, Danny's calling me. What's up, Danny? Yeah, the conversations are confusing and impossible to understand. But while having verbal and physical exchanges and being exposed to their demonic energy and madness, one gradually becomes able to understand their peculiar thoughts and distortion of topics. Ultimately, their partner will become sex crazed like them and be able to calmly have insane conversations that can be obscenely distorted from any given topic. Ooh. You're saying what I was on the screen. Oh, gotcha. That's my name. Alright, you can get all the dirty talks with them and have a lot of fun, it seems. Those who become their husbands will end up spending most of their days having lewd exchanges, verbally and physically. Cool. I see no downsides on that. They're herbivores and prefer vegetables, but out of that they prefer demon realm produce, especially stuff with a high aphrodisiac effect. Ooh. Conversations are impossible to understand. So, me? Danny, are you a March hare by any chance? I'll give it an A+. They seem nice, yeah. It's gonna be sex talk all the time, but it's gonna be pretty fun sex talk overall. They often participate in tea parties held by monsters called hatters. Alright, that's an absolute solid A for me, immediately. Fluffy lap pillows, great conversation partner. Easy S. It's almost an S, but it's just that all the conversations you're gonna have are gonna be lewd thoughts. Every single one is gonna go into lewd territory. It could be an S potentially, but I can't. At least for me. Reliable makes me think about my phrasing issues and illiteracy. I think I can relate to that too, because I'm pretty illiterate sometimes. Let's see. Next up is the other mushroom, the original mushroom head. This one is kind of scary because I've read this before. I still remember that they root themselves, release spores, and any human male would get enticed by them and then have sex with them. But if a female sneezes, breeds those spores, they'll slowly become one of those mushroom girls too. That's how they reproduce, basically. Okay, it says recently matangos that have received plenty of nutrients from men have stopped rooting themselves into the ground. They've been observed moving by being carried by their men, while having the roots entwined around them. And like every single fucking misunderstood joke and comment, I like it fucking drives me crazy. Those girls on this shrink my brain said easy S. I mean, that's not scary for people going around spreading spores from these creatures to other women, because basically they can take over entire villages. Still, maybe if you're careful and you know you're not gonna bring one of these around and you clean yourself, maybe I see. Fungal infection is no joke, especially if it's mold. Ooh, mold's terrible. Be careful with your fungus, guys. Use your antifungal creams and whatnot. Anyway, next up is that loud car outside. I rated an F. Anyway, that's a snake. Who are you? Medusa. High-level type of lamia, which possesses the upper body of a human woman and the lower body of a snake. There are very few in numbers. You can throw your rock-hard jokes now if you want. Whoever they make contact whoever they make eye contact with, they will harden like stone. They will use this ability to stop other monsters and catch men so they can drag them back to their lairs as their husband for reproduction. A lot of obnoxious, relatable, easy steps. You fool, I am already stoned. Only the man's lips, the also disability to be sex. In this case, only the man's limbs are petrified to prevent him from moving. Ooh, scary. At least it's only the arms, but still. But if a thingy breaks during sex, that's gonna be no bueno. Okay. They may even petrify a man's penis and try to have sex with him again because they do not want to be separated from him. Or so it is said. If you're not scared of having your dinga donkey down there petrified, maybe you wanna stay away from them. Thereby, JJs can give two types of stimulation. It is pleasantly cool like stone. I don't know if stone is actually pleasant, so doubt there. Or a lukewarm feeling when they begin to seek their man even more and squeeze more desperately. Okay, if they leave a man petrified without choosing him as a husband, generally, before the petrification wears off, another monster starting for a man will carry him off. Then just when the petrification does wear off, he will find himself having sex with that monster. Ooh. Okay, at least the petrification is not for eternity or until they turn it off. Yeah, they had funny snake hair. And Medusas will never show their true feelings, but their snake hair will betray them. They are extremely jealous. And that's it, that's the Medusa. So if you want a piece of that Medusa, you wanna rate them high up. I don't know, I don't like to be petrified because what if a part just chips off and it doesn't come back? So it may be a C because the potential risk of that, which may not happen, but still. That's a big no thanks unless I am a creature of magma where petrifying me makes it worse for them. Interesting, that's a nice plan. Anyway, next up is the mermaid. And what can you tell me about the mermaid? Fish type monster that lives in the ocean. They have the most gentle disposition of all the monsters. Most of them are hopeless romantics, and they're always waiting for their partner who will become their husband. Okay. They appear at beaches and on top of reefs and dreaming of their yet unseen princess. They'll sing in a beautiful voice. Not again the one that chip off my shoulders. That would be bad if it happens. Hopefully the stone is pretty resistant. Okay. They're not a race that aggressively attacks humans like other monsters. However, once they do get a human, they're aggressive about sex and use their monstrous bodies to charm them. Cool. A total switch going on there. The mermaid's blood has the effect of dramatically increasing their lifespan. It is said that it has this function to make a man's lifespan match their own because a mermaid's lifespan is longer than humans. So if you're also into blood drinking and you're gonna live for a longer time, yeah, you marry a fish. Pepsi Man seems to love the mermaids. Nice. They live underwater and I can breathe their F. Yeah, that's a very huge F, so... Hopefully, maybe you can keep her in an aquarium or something if you're gonna marry one. Their bagus are concealed by scales and can't be seen normally. They use magic to get rid of their scales, so it's magic clothes basically. At least they are smart and they are not exactly dangerous and that. They're naive, it says here. Interesting, I don't know. Yeah, most of the underwater creatures, it's kind of scary. I'm gonna maybe put it on a D because they're not actually dumb. But yeah, and the potential to living longer maybe. Anyway, next up it is the other mermaid. Who are you? We have two mermaids here. Oh, it's a merrow. A type of mermaid that lives in the sea, distinguished by their pink hair and the red cap they wear on their heads. Even among the mermaids family, they're known as the most lustful race. Ooh, spicy fish. Okay, this one is the fish that you say now will commence to pleasure myself with this fish. They peep on romantic affairs and sex of other monsters. Oh, they are voyeurists too. Interesting. When they fall in love with a man from the bottom of their heart, they'll only have eyes for him and their focus will be sex with him. When they can make a marriage proposal to a man who strikes them fancy, they entrust their hat to the man. the, the ultimate offering. You get a free hat. The hat carries the protection of the sea god Poseidon. The magical power that they need to live in the ocean is contained within it. When they lose their hat, they lose their power to swim, but they regain it through the essence they consume during sex with their husband. Ooh. Okay, so this won't take you underwater, so that's kind of safer in that regard. They possess the mermaid blood as well, okay. Their blood will turn pink. They live underwater, but you get a free hat. Easiest S tier of my life. Absolutely. Go straight into the S tier because of the free hat. I'm joking, that's probably an A. Because you can kinda get to live with them on land and not underwater. If you're into voyeurism, you can join them and have fun together, I guess. Next up is the Mershark. Sad face, Danny. It's okay, Danny, you can have the hat. I'll give it to you. Let's see. It is the Mershark. Did I show the image? There we go. A race of mermaids with the characteristic of a shark, yeah. They are ferocious, just as they look. Have excellent senses with which to detect humans, and they can accurately pinpoint the specific location of a man hiding in a ship. Ooh, they have super radar that goes above water. If they discover a man who fell into the sea, they'll mercilessly snap at him and try to greedily devour the man's body. Ooh. They don't actually consume such prey, but because of how they look when they attack humans, they are feared as man-eating sharks. They're gonna eat them in another way for sure. They can bite through iron chains and now holes in the bottom of ships. Ooh. Those bitten by them have mana spilled out from the inside of their body instead of blood. And when a man's mana mixes with their mana, it becomes stained bright red instead of a blood spray. A mana spray will stain with the sea red. The man will be robbed of all mana and feel like he's having his mana gouge out and consumed instead of his flesh. They may be rendered unconscious. In that way, a man will be robbed of his freedom underwater and be unable to escape from copulation. Ooh. You are into eternal snoo underwater forever. They entwine bodies around their human and ride them wildly. Oh, Oh, they have a timid nature. They are very savage, but they also have a timid nature, which becomes strikingly apparent after obtaining a husband. Cool. They do small nibbles on their husband. They can be put at ease by head patting on a firm embrace. Or a firm embrace. Okay, they love head pats, so that's a very big bonus. However, being underwater is not a good idea for me, at least. So in that regard, that's gonna be another D. She'll trap and eat you inside and out, but she doesn't give a free hat. Another F, yeah. Absolutely. She's not an F because she loves headpats, and that ranks her a little bit up. But yeah, she doesn't come with a free hat. So next up is the Mimic. Let's go. You know, these creatures, they disguise as chests and other appliances and objects. But mostly chests, just to lure adventurers. They have magic that can teleport themselves to other locations. They usually live in dungeons. The Mimic will leap out when the man comes by and pull them with great force and startle the man. Then use a charm or binding spell to seal his movements. They will offer their body to the man along with plenty of pleasure while making out his essence to feed on. Cool. If their prey strikes them fancy, they will be dragged inside the treasure chest. The person dragged inside will disappear somewhere, and the only thing remaining will be an empty treasure chest. How does the chest monster not have a chest? It is an empty chest, so that explains it. The inside of their treasure chest is a space they have created with magic that exists within a different dimension. It is said that they will continue to have sex alone together in that place where they will not be disturbed by anyone. Their weak point is their keyhole on the treasure chest. If a key corresponding with that keyhole were to be inserted before the Mimic jumps out, she will be spit from the chest, and the chest she was within will disappear in a flash of light. Ooh. No more chest for this, just a normal girl, I guess. Thus far, unfortunately, a key corresponding to the keyhole has not been yet discovered. It said that even when a skilled thief attempted to pick the lock, it will still not open. However, there was a man who succeeded once by unlocking the chest by inserting some kind of ball-shaped object. You can have a guess what that ball-shaped object was inserted there. The moment he unlocked it, the Mimic clung to him for some reason, and he ended up being joined with her. And that's how he won a free waifu. Amazing, not the best, the wooden box I mean. Does it just come off? Not the best, the wooden box. Yeah, it comes off if you insert the right key inside it. And that key may be a pole-shaped object. Cool stuff. And there is kind of dangerous if they catch us, so you don't know when you're gonna be released after they grab you inside the chest. But still, there's ways to deal with them, so in that regard maybe a C would be fitting. A C for chest. Next up, it is this big squid-like mummy. Who are you? Are you a mummy? That's why you're in the end? Oh, it's a mind flayer. Ooh, spooky. They are grotesque enchantresses with tentacles growing from their head and lower body who form peculiar societies underground. Interesting. Highly intelligent and dangerous with an extremely obscene mentality. They possess the power to manipulate the mind. Let's see. Free chest storage after sex. Easy S tier. No, the chest disappears. It says. When you unlock the chest disappears forever. So no free chest for you, nor anyone. Only a clingy girl that you need to take care of from now on. Okay, they seize their prey as if embracing them from behind and slip their tentacles into their prey's head through their ears to directly pour in demonic energy and pleasurable signals. What a fuck scam monster F tier, yeah. Go to Yale, do not pass go, do not collect $200. Their prey's mind is consumed by pleasure and their watery sounds of the man's various tentacles noisily stirring about inside their heads. Ooh. Absolute mind break when they insert those tentaculinos inside your brain. That's how they have sex. In the case that the prey is female, it is said that she won't immediately be converted into a monster and will instead be released while still human. However, just getting a whiff of the other of a human man or his essence will be intoxicating, and she'll be unable to maintain her ordinary thought process. In all likelihood, she has been modified so that only parts of her memories, values, senses, and perception will be that of a monster. So they are more dangerous for human women in the regard that they'll be mentally modified. She will recall the pleasure of their experience with the Mind Flayer. And she will go back to the Mind Flayer on her own. Ooh, scary. Eventually, they will be modified into another Mind Flayer. Alright, Mind Break Waifu. Very smart, very gooey. If you're into them, then go for it. In my case, I don't wanna get my mind modified or anything, so maybe a D. Because they are still smart and maybe you have a chance to talk things off. All I'm getting is Mind Break Mommy, and I would say S tier if I had a mind to break. B tier. It's sad. It doesn't work with just one brain cell. That's why she's a C. Or a D. Next up is the Minotaur. And are you showing up? Yes, you are. Let's go. Icon animal. No, I didn't click that one. A beastman type monster with the characteristics of an ox. If you recall the other Minotaur, the Holstars, this is the main species. They have freakish strength and can effortlessly swing enormous weapons. They are extremely ferocious, and when they spot a human man of their liking, they practically charge in and assault them immediately in an effort to force intercourse. Yeah, big snoo waifu. Until they pass out. They get aroused when they see the color red. Ooh, standard bull cartoon behavior. If you're wearing red clothes, it's almost guaranteed that you'll be targeted by these vicious beasts. They are often encountered sleeping. They spend most of their day sleeping. After eating, they pretty much just go back to sleep right then and there. Something minor won't wake them up. Cool. They tend to be very lazy too. They have little interests outside food, sleep, and sex. Oh yeah, all time is food, sleep, and sex. So if you're into all that stuff, maybe you'll have fun with them. But for now, it's gonna be a C for me. Also, my cat's doing something. Hey, cats, what's up? Give me one sec, my cats are starting to act like cats. Okay, cat crisis averted. Default bull CBT. I don't wanna have any CBT at all. That sounds highly unnecessary. Let's get back. Next up, it is moth mummy. We're finding a lot of mummies lately. Also open the wrong window. Yeah, close this. Let's see some mothman. Okay, Fluffy already. She's earning a lot of points. Soft fur covering their bodies and large wings with peculiar patterns. They prefer to dwell in dark places, but have a tendency to be attracted to lights. They fly around wandering in pursuit of human, drawn by the radiance of essence. Mothman, yeah, that's a Mothman. It says Mothman, so I won't discuss it. They have a gentle disposition, but also have simple thoughts and values, and the only thing on their mind is mating with humans and getting pomegranate. Burying their partner's offspring and the act required for that purpose are the greatest expressions of love. They shower the humans with powdery scales. The powder has a bewitching effect, and those who breathe in a large amount of it will temporarily become simple-minded to the same degree as them. Cool. I have no brain, so that makes no difference to me. I am immune. Once they obtain a husband, they start to sense their husband's essence as an even stronger and warmer light, to the point that the other lights filled into them. Cool. You basically become the light of their lives. That's pretty cute. They still spread a lewd powder when they fly around, so they can cause other monsters and humans to have simple-minded thoughts and start having sex. I don't know, they are simple airhead bugs, and they're kinda cute. And super fluffy, so that's a solid A for me. Someone has to clean all that dust later just to make sure it doesn't create a giant orgy in town, but yeah, an A seems fine. Most of these fluffy waifus are pretty simple-minded. Fluff brain, fluff bodies, it makes sense now. Anyway, next up is the Mochius toad. Are you guys into Mochius? If that's your thing, then she's the waifu for you. They possess great jumping power in their well-developed hind legs. They can stick to walls and ceilings, just like frogs. All their fluids are Mochius. And they will relentlessly slurp up their essence. They prefer the cowgirl position for obvious leg reasons, I assume. Their Mochius is slightly toxic and has the function of boosting a man's sexual stamina. Cool. What's her name? Monkas? Yeah, it's the Monkas frog. Okay, she doubles as a meme waifu if you are into that. If a man they recognizes their husband has his mouth nearby, they'll behave almost like a toad, reflexively seizing prey and spontaneously kiss him. That's not what hunters do. They do not kiss their prey. Plunging their tongue deep inside. Ooh, Omega French kissing going on. If a human woman ingests a large amount of it, they may cause monsterization. They are in a race that actively assaults women but shoot someone, insult or inflict harm on them or their husband. They will exhibit their natural sticky disposition and attempt to rub large amount of mucus into the woman's body and inside their mouth with a slimy tongue. Okay, if you're a girl, just be careful of the monsterization that's possible going on. I don't know, it seems to be a fun experience, but maybe a C would be fine just because of the nice legs they have. They're amazing. Next up, it is the it's the mummy. Yep, it's all mummies. Monka S tier. Nice. A type of undead that inhabits the desert regions, ruins, etc. They always overwhelmed with the feelings that their bodies are dried out, so they attack men in order to take in essence through sexual intercourse. Intercourse. Cool. They are dry, so they do need the goo, I guess. Yet their thirst and hunger will finally be satisfied. Their rationality and intellect increase, causing them to become temporarily docile. However, their greed will soon be starving for more semen again and go dry seeking a man. Nice. So they basically get what do you call it? A post-nut clarity. Their skin is extremely weak to stimulation. They feel a strange rush of pleasure when touched. Cool. Cool waffle, pretty simple and pretty standard to understand. Post-nut waifu. You get a B. Why not? Next up, it is the... Is that another mushroom? Or is a mic on it? Oh yeah, I did censor this one because it was pretty spicy to show up. A petite mushroom monster that lives in damp places. Yeah, it is a mushroom. They're called walking mushrooms. They have a calm disposition and a backhand expression on their faces to the point that it's difficult to figure out what they're thinking. As soon as they spot a man, they rush straight toward him and leap at him in an attempt to embrace him. They are by no means strong monsters, but they have a soft, elastic body that can squishily deflect even a sharp sword. They're kinda bouncy, so if they trip while you're evading them, you're just gonna bounce back up. They can't scatter spores. Oh, they can't scatter spores in a wide area. Scroll down a bit. Give me one sec. There you go. Let's read. But their short area of effect spores are pretty much the same because they make you horny. And when they are impacted, they will release spores as well. Okay, they milk their prey. Eyes emoji. And that is how something funny it seems. Maybe a good meme. When they take a liking of a man that they want to be their husband, they start following their husband around constantly. If their husband welcomes them into his arms, they leap at him gleefully, squeezing their arms and legs around his body in a firm embrace. Oh, cute babies that like to hug. After sex, they will keep clinging to their husbands while continuing to hold their pingas inside, refusing to let go. The spores make your head dizzy, so I don't know if that's a good idea to be at all times dizzy. And try to look at the 16 by 16 on Census Peak. You're using super zooming eyes. I see. Okay, they're not that dangerous, but they can cloud your mind if you get to inhale the spores. At least they don't do the area of attack spores, so maybe a B, because they also like to hog. Seems fitting. Alright, next up is the Nekomata. Okay. Your standard cat girl that shows everywhere. A kind of warrior cat that only inhabits the Sipango region. Never mind, it's a very specific kind of cat girl. She has two tails. When they find a man who strikes them fancy, they don't attack right away. They change into the form of a cat instead. Okay, a cat is fine too. I see where this is going. They approach the man and use charm magic, which causes the man to keep them as a pet. Oh. Wait a sec, I have 4 cats here. Is any of them Nekomata by any chance? I gotta be careful. They can live together with the defenseless man and are able to ascertain whether or not he will treat them with love and kindness. In the same way as an ordinary cat, the following behavior can be observed. When the man moves closer, they move away. When the man moves away, they move closer. I'm trying to look at the 16. Is that the same? Okay, the chat just reloaded and I read the message again. In this way, they try to hide their true form. When they're living with a man, they will eventually become unable to suppress their instincts as a monster, and they end up sexually assaulting them. Once their true form has been revealed, it is no longer necessary to hide their true nature or to control their lust towards the man. They will snooze them. Okay, so this is your pet cat waifu. They're not bad behaved or anything, they're just regular cats. But with more advantages. That's a B. That's a solid B because you're still dealing with a cat as a pet. Next up, it is the... Ooh. Who are you? Nerid. They're a kind of sea-loving succubus that inhabits the ocean. Women who drown into the ocean and have their bodies completely infused by magical power of the sea god Poseidon are changed into Nerids. God is just looking disgusting. Hold on. You can't clean your sins, Danny. They're there forever. They're on the BOD. They are welcomed with waves of strong pleasure and sexual impulses. Cool. No more sexual, no more human restraint. It's all washed out. They start thinking the life at the sea is ultimate happiness. If a woman who was changed into a nerd had a man she loved on dry land, she will change herself into a human form and go onto land to seek him out. She will seduce the man and sink him into the depths of pleasure, as if he were sinking to the bottom of the sea. After capturing the man this way, the two of them will return to the sea. That's scary. I don't want to be on the sea. They will continue to have sex at the bottom of the sea. Unmarried nerds who haven't gotten a man to come up near the surface of the water, so they're very dangerous beings. Cool. No thanks. I'm gonna give that a solid F. Again, living on the sea seems scary, so no. No thanks. I'd like to stay dry. Thank you. Who's this? Next up is the Nightmare? No, you're not the one showing up. It is the Night Gaunt. Give me one sec, I need to show it. Sensation of drowning while doing the dirty S tier. That's an edit. I don't want to show the edit. Night Gone. There you go. Big arms. Goop mommy. It seems. Let's see. What can you tell me about this beautiful creature? Demons with bizarre appearance who have their whole body covered in black film, and one of the races of monsters belonging to the Abyss. They are poor at expressing emotions, and it's difficult to read their intentions from their expression. They serve to their master's will. It's hard to tell what they themselves are thinking. But if a human strikes them, fancy they'll soar through the sky and carry him where he wants to go. Ooh. It's basically a big mummy familiar with huge arms. But if they don't care about the human, apparently they'll snatch him up and carry him off the sky, only to drop him right in the middle of a swarm of monsters in heat. Ooh. So yeah, you better be on good terms with them or else you're gonna be in a monster orgy. Amazing. They lurk in dark places such as underground or in caves. When the night falls, they fly around the sky, intent on swooping down on human men who strike them fancy and wrestling them. When they find their prey, purple and perky S tier. I'm about to put them on the S tier if they have more than just grappling humans and snatching them into the air. When they do the snatching, they start caressing him intently. It looks like they are tickling the man, but in reality they are coating the man's body into the mucus they secrete by their own body. So it's an aphrodisiac lotion they release. Bro, where the fuck my Uber taking me? Yeah, it is your Uber wife who is outside. Please come outside. Okay. They will be ultra horny by covering by the mucus. His nature will change so that he will become a fitting husband for them. He obtains a grotesque demonic-like form. He can secrete and control mucus just as they do, so they will actually corrupt you if they cover you in mucus. So you become a mucus demon too. But then you gain the ability to sense their emotions. Cool. If you're tired of being a human and you wanna become a mucus monster / demon, then go for it. Okay, it's also free. Oh, their husband is also freely able to return to human form, but since their husband has gained total dominion over them by constantly joining with them and continually providing pressure, it seems they experience anxiety when he changes into human form and separates from them. And it's said they will behave in a clingy manner towards their husband. Okay, it is not a full transformation. You can kinda turn back if you want to. But I guess I'm about to put them on an S tier, but the only thing that they have is basically turn you into a demon and carries you and hugs you. I love their appearance, so that will put them on a solid A. They're almost there. If they had a little bit more than just snatching humans and going them all around, then maybe. Okay, next up is the Nightmare. Let's go. A type of centaur having the upper body of a human, yeah? They possess high magical power, using spells to go into people's dreams while they're sleeping. They don't inhabit any specific type of place, and it is very rare to encounter one outside of a dream. Oh, they are your horse wet dream guide. They enter their prey's dreams. Free rise at the price of corruption. Yeah, basically, you get a free Uber all the time. They'll enter their dreams appear in the form of a voluptuous, strong-willed woman and seduce them. And they'll milk you inside your dreams. After appearing in a dream like that, from then on they'll continue to visit in the man's dreams. He'll keep having passionate sex with them every night and have his essence milked. However, so long as one realizes he's been attacked, it will be easy to capture her. Because they approach sleeping men, all one have to do is pretend to be sleeping. They will approach to try and enter the dream without realizing that the man is asleep. And then they could be captured on the spot. These monsters have nervous, timid, and cowardly personalities. And they'll likely freeze up from the shock of having the man they thought was asleep suddenly grab them. So they are basically like those goats that you scare them and they just tumble down. Cool. They can attack men in the real world due to having such personalities. They play the role of what they think is an ideal woman and have sex with men in dreams. They hardly resist at all being captured, and they are only there if they're first place because of their strong fondness for the man, so it's easy to tame them. What else we have here? In reality, sex with them is nothing like how it is in dreams. Her hips movements will be awfully awkward, and she'll be overwhelmed by the pleasure she receives from the man. Tears will come to her eyes as she's showered in goo, and her expression will be tinged with ecstasy. Okay, if you are into getting wet dreams, she's the wife for you. Or if you're into that timid horse backdoor, then go for it. I'm not sure, they're kinda weird for me, so maybe as a dream experience? Let's put them on a... let's see, seems fine. They're not that bad, and it's just mostly the wet dreams you're having. And the awkward horse sex if you wanna go that route. Anyway, and next up is you again? What are you doing here? Horsey, I didn't wanna say it. Thanks for doing that for me, Danny. Who are you? Are you another mommy, by the way? Nurari Hyun. It's a yokai. They're evasive during conversations just to tease people. They have unconventional personalities that are slippery and hard to grasp. Are said to set foot inside people's houses unnoticed and begin to make themselves at home, as if it were their own house, sipping tea and smoking a kiseru. At a glance, this race is nearly among the most distinguished of the great yokai of Zipango. They drap their body in the darkness of night and command 100 demons, apparently. Okay, after entering the home of a human she's taken a liking to, she'll treat the homeowner in a relaxed-friendly manner, and even dine with them. But it is said that the occupants of the home will be unable to sense that anything is amiss, as if they were seized by the delusion that the Nurari herself is the mistress of the house. I got you, always here to do things no one normally wants to do. Thanks, Danny, I can always count on you. And as if it were only natural, she'll also enter the person's bed, but even so, the man won't be able to feel that there's anything odd about her being there, sleeping with them in the futon. It's just natural. It's just like she's been always there and she's the mistress of the mansion. That's always been a thing. Cool. Very cool. They're always joking and you can grasp their true nature, so it's hard to discern them. By copulating with them every night and coming to desire perpetual night, the charm will eventually mate to bloom, and the person will become a worthy ruler of the night who can stand alongside the Nurari Hyun as her equal. Alright, a pretty interesting individual, for sure. Not sure if I want to have my thoughts clouded with lies. So that's gonna be an A. She's almost there. I'm back. What did I miss? A lot of monsters going on. We got a centaur, this Nurari Hyun that just pretends your house is her house and you accept it as that because it's always been that way according to you. I don't know. I feel not betrayed, but like something would be not true, and I kind of want the truth all the time. Anyway, next up is the who are you? A gooey lady Nureo Nako. A kind of slime that's lives in the Zipango region. They have flexible bodies like slimes, they can mimicry, they can form clothes that look and feel almost like the real thing. They can make any clothing as long as they have seen it before. So they can pass as human women. But the clothes they make is always looking wet, so you can tell apart they may be a Nago. Everything about her passed my head. I like her outfit, S tier. Cool. Very cool, Danny. You can marry your house mistress and become the lord of the night along her. They only show themselves in front of humans on rainy days for that reason. So they're kinda smart in that regard. And they stand out on roads and wait for a man to smile and call out of them so they can recognize them as their husband and chase after them for the rest of their lives. So they're just a girl on the road, and then if you smile at them, they just say, yes, we are married, I'm gonna marry that human. Even if you attempt to flee, they'll smell your essence and follow you no matter where you go. So it's impossible to successfully escape them. Eventually they'll even turn up at the man's home, and once she arrives at the man's home, she'll start living there and behave like his wife. And they're gonna have sticky, gooey sex. It's tumble ship logic. Oh no, oh no. Very sad. At least they're not canceling you or anything. They are actually very docile and devoted monsters. Even though they are slimes which fundamentally have low intelligence, the knowledge and techniques necessary to perform household chores as a man's wife is imprinted in their instinct. They're just very needy slimes, but they will become devoted wives. Just very gooey ones. Alright, they're not actually dangerous, and if you're into very gooey smiles who are devoted to you, maybe she'll be a good monster wife you can live the rest of your life with. They're very devoted. So, Visco's wet stalker girl, yeah. Not yandere level of stalking, but you get a free wife that you just pick off the road. And they can help you with your life and... Okay, the thing is, they're already pretty waifu. Not sure what you can ask more of their personality other than that. Maybe an A. They're almost S tier if they had more personality other than just being a devoted wife. They're almost there. They're like an A plus tier. I'm honestly unsure. They're not dangerous at all, so that's why they're almost there. If only they had a little bit more personality, I guess they would be upper. But they are basically slimes. Anyway, we have a wildcat here. Who are you? Also me, it's called. A race of beastmen, also called jaguar warriors. They revere monsters known as the Tezcatlipoca. Hey, I know that one. Tezcatlipoca, the underworld god. Cool. They offer prayers and they receive blessings in exchange. The Tezcatlipoca preach that the true nature order is for humans to be snoot and devoured by monsters. I see no faults in that logic. So that's their nature. They go and hunt men to snooze them. They attack as soon as they spot a human man. And sometimes even raid human villages seeking an abundance of prey. They're pretty dangerous. S is for blessed. True. So you say bless you, they get stronger. No, these girls offer prayers to Tezcatlipoca. And in exchange they get blessed by him. Okay, they're dreadful warriors. Let's see. After defeating a man they like, they are just as merciless as during battle and will snooze with them. But they live by the mantra of prey must be devoured completely without wasting even a single scrap of meat or drop of blood. So in that regard, once they ravish the human they did the do, they spend their lives together as husband and wife, so she can train them every single day. In that way, they conceive new warriors who will become even more brutal. And the only person who they show love and care is their one husband. Oh god, it's a Wendigo. Maybe there's a Wendigo in this encyclopedia. We'll find out. Alright. So yeah, they become super cute, lovely, dovey kitty cats when they find a husband. But in the meantime, they're just gonna snooze the entire villages and whatnot. They're still dangerous, so I'm gonna put them on a C. Very hot snoo sex, but at the cost of destroying your villages. Not fun. Oh, who are you? An Ochimusha. A samurai zombie? Warriors who died with regrets but were revived by yokai energy. A firm-willed duels within their eyes. Some of them return to the place they used to live to once again serve their former lord. And others will wander on foot seeking a new lord, becoming their faithful servants of the human men they encounter. Cool. They practice the Bushido, which deems selfless devotion and taking responsibility by risking one's life as virtuous. So yeah, super devoted warrior wives. They never neglect their training even when dead. Okay, they can infuse magical energy in their katanas. They are undying soldiers who do not lose their lives on the battlefield. Cool. Their wounds will heal by receiving their Lord's affection, and they will regenerate an even more beautifully powerful body. Cool. They are very smart. They know military and literary arts, and they are calm and collected. They, let's see, they are ready to offer their whole body and any time to their lord. They're not very skilled when it comes to romantic affairs. Ah, they're ditzies when it comes to love. Okay, as they are very loyal, it is not uncommon for a lord captivated by that to end up in a physical relationship with them. Cool. Imagine the abs. They must be as strong as steel. Every time they do the sex, the woman part of them gets tempered. So every single time you have sex with them, it will become better and better every single time. Cool. They can indeed get pregonated, it says here. I don't know if their offspring will be another Ochimusha or if it will be a human girl, but it says here they can be pomegranate. I don't know. I think they may be actually S tier. I don't know. They're super devoted warriors which have a high intellect. You can have nice conversations with them about art and about the arts of war and whatnot. Okay, you know what is gonna be the 5th S tier, I think. Also, they're very shy when it comes to actual romance stuff, so that's quite cute. There's still a chance that this upper tier could change by pushing someone down, so far we reached the limit, so let's see if there's another wife that can bring one of them down. Anyway, next up it is this green lady. It's an ogre. Cool. They are always wandering mountainous regions, caves and wastelands, seeking men. They use their superior physical abilities to go on a violent rampage. They're constantly thinking about snooze. They love conflict around having sex with them. It's almost like fighting battle. Okay, they like to break down their prey. I know one might take one of them down. I wonder who that is. Whatever the case, once they get started with sex, it won't end until either they or their partners are beaten into submission. Ooh. No longer able to move until victory or defeat is decided, they will continue, but that's not to say that they would let a man go, should he choose not to resist. If you do not resist, you're gonna be snoozed harder. Once captured, the only way to escape is to fight them and win. In other words, a man must give them so much pleasure during sex that they become unable to move. Then, while they're out cold, he must run away. That seems reasonable. If you don't escape in time, you're gonna get a rematch until you escape again. Or they might be overrated. I'm not cultured enough to really know. Some are overrated for certain people, and some are absolute waifus, so who knows? Okay, there is the chance that you may not escape from an ogre, but as long as you keep gaining Snusnut, you'll eventually become stronger. So in that regard, it's gonna be a good training for you. I'm gonna give it a B. Because you'll eventually get to turn on the tables and escape. And it's very powerful training. Cool stuff. I like the ogre. Next up is the... Ooh. Who are you? You have a lot of legs. Omukade. They have a lower body of a centipede. Okay. They have a depressive disposition. They also have a ferocious nature at the same time. Once they spot a human man, they aggressively assault them. They prefer dark, wet places, and they normally live in shadowy woods, live in the mountains, caves, etc. They have extremely potent potion within their bodies. Okay, they use the tip of their tail to bite and inject poison into a man's body. They get a rush of pleasure around the place where they were bitten. The potent poison and ferocious disposition isn't all that's terrifying about the Omukade. They are obsessively clingy and affectionate towards their prey to the point that it borders on paranoia. Okay, these are your Yandere insect waifu, for sure. Centipussy S tier. They have a huge weakness to human men's saliva. They have a high resistance to their own poison and are normally unaffected by it. However, when the poison combines with a man's saliva, a magical transformation occurs. Cool. Resulting in another poison that they have no resistance to. They get self-overwhelmed with pleasure. Alright, clingy gender poison waifu. If you're into that, that's the wife for you. I don't know if I wanna be around them or getting them around my village, but they're not super dangerous. They're just obsessed with their prey, so maybe I see. The Centipussy seems nice, but there's better out there. Next up, it is the... Oh, that's the orc. Cool. Again, because this is a very Japan-centric encyclopedia, the orcs are gonna look like pigs. They are ferocious monsters who actively assault people. They are very lustful, and they search for men they can target. They form groups and attack in an effort to capture them. They are made into slaves once they are captured. Okay, you become the local Snusnut man. Paralyze me and liquefy my insides, mommy. No, they won't liquefy you. Only paralyze you and make you hard down there. However, when attacked, if one managed to defeat them instead, they will recognize the victor as their master. So I hope these orcs don't have already a high orc within their village, or else you're not gonna be able to become the master of them. For the victors who become masters, the orcs change their nature completely. They will become concerned with their master's mood and constantly fawn on him. Of course, they will still be very lustful, so they're gonna still try to seduce you. Alright. I mean, if you manage to overpower them, you're gonna get a whole army of very soft individuals at your disposal. But they're still very powerful and dangerous, so it's a risk that you might wanna take while planning ahead. I guess that's a C. Where did I put the high orc again? Let me check. I think I gave the high orc a B? Or maybe lower. Holy Harpy. Yeah, I think I gave them a lower one. Maybe? Fighting and dominating is mean, and I'm not mean, at least I think. I mean, this is just a power game for them. But I don't know, the high orcs should be somewhere. I'm too lazy to keep looking around, so let's move on. Otohime. Cute. Snake mommy. Yes. Yes, please. Monster princesses that rule over Ryu Gujo, which exists at the bottom of the sea. Oh, that's not good then. They are treated as mermaids, but they are actually a kind of powerful dragon that possesses the power to manipulate sea currents and cause tsunamis. Ooh, never mind, I don't wanna get on her bad side. They're all about ranked competitive sex. Yeah, which rank are you guys? Are you double platinum? Are you on champion Turbo Plus tier? Are you still on paper 1? Okay, they are selfish and overbearing, but also have tolerant and easygoing personalities. They are adored by their monster underlings. They also enjoy entertaining others. Cool. In Ryuguyo, guests are always welcome and drinking parties unfold day and night. Copper -1. Ah, that's sad. I'm still on paper 3. Let's see. They have whole shows of monsters to entertain their guests. They are masters at dancing, it seems. They merely dance to entertain themselves as well as those who watch. If there is a noteworthy human among those observing their dance, they'll bring them into their bedroom, as if to say their position as princess is irrelevant. Cool. And I, because I'm a fucking virgin. Having sex doesn't count. It's just your horny levels. You can have no sex and still orc when the time comes, so yeah. Let's see. Most men who visit Ryuguyo will end up choosing to live with monsters as their partners. However, there are also those who are intent on returning to the surface. That's me! Such men are given souvenirs known as Tamate Baku. When a man opens the box imbued with the spell by the Otohime, magical smoke spills out and envelops him, showing him an illusion in which he can relive the paradise-like days at Ryuguyo. Cool. Cool stuff. I don't have access enough to go on ranked. Okay, you can just play casual then. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, they're not gonna keep you underwater all the time, and they're very powerful dragons if you don't want to get on their bad side at all, so... they rank above most other mermaids, I think, and they like shows and whatnot, and you're basically a guest on their underwater temple. And you can leave at any time you want, so yeah, that's a solid B for me. Tsunamami S tier. Danny goes into both S and F tiers, depending if you get a free hat or not. Anyway, next up, let's take a look at this fluffy girl, an old mage. Look at that fluffer. They're also called forest sages, since they're endowed with extremely high intelligence and wisdom. They are plump with many feathers as well, so their flying ability is inferior. However, their man is abundant, stored in their feathers. Cool. They have evil eyes which can put a spell on anyone that makes eye contact with them. They have a prudent, calm personality too. And you can have nice conversation with them as they are very intelligent and wise if you happen to find one in the forest. They still have a breeding season. The desire of a human male reproductive partner is overpowering. They act as calmly as prudent as usual, even while prioritizing satisfying their urge to breed. They will snatch you at night so they can envelop you in their fluffiness to relieve themselves. They prefer to take their sweet time enjoying lengthy intercourse with their husband at night. During the day, they prefer to spend their lives such as by quietly embracing their husband's body with their soft, fluffy feathers, mutually touching and enjoying physical intimacy, after which they may fall asleep just like that. Okay, she's becoming a very, very solid waifu. Again, the fluffy earns extra points. They could be an S tier easily. They're almost there, I think. Plus, the worst spot to get into is a mid tier because just like I don't really care enough to put them into the lowest tier. Embrace sounds really nice right now, yeah. Fluffy bird waifu, for sure. A lot of harpies are on the A tier. Anyway, next up it is... Alright, this girl. It's the Papillon. Remember the caterpillar girl we saw before? Well, this is her Pokemon evolution once they come out of the cocoon. They dance through the sky, their wings shimmer with sunlight, captivating the eyes of those who behold them. It is said that alone isn't enough to charm the hearts of men. Due to their warm personality, they treat anyone with gentle kindness, calming the hearts of those who come into contact with them, just like the spring season. Approximately this close to removing the S tier limit. Did you have a limit to begin with, Danny? What was your previous limit? They show warm affection and devotion towards their husband who emerged from the chrysalis with them, as if to repay him for copulating with them countless times inside the chrysalis and providing mana. If their husband doesn't desire sex, they seem to be happy just spending time at his side and will just try to exert every effort to make their husband's life more pleasant. They are experts at arousing their husband's body because of the time they spent during the cocoon time together. If I had one, okay. Only if you had one. Their mere presence alone will excite their husband's reproductive objects and spur him to seek intercourse. Cool. Their larval form is specialized for eating, is hungry all the time. In contrast with the Papillon, whose image is specialized in reproduction. Very rarely, there are also those larvae who became a chrysalis and matured without having been able to acquire a man. And their nature is different than that of normal individuals, since all the nourishment that was originally meant to be given to a man inside the chrysalis is retained inside their body, while their adult body is formed, the resultant body is more voluptuous and plump, and tends to overtly exude sexual charm. So if you do not enter a chrysalis with them and they spend the time alone, they're gonna get mega booba and mega hips. So yeah, even more reason to not spend time with a... where are you again? And I'll put you somewhere. Caterpillar. No, they should be there somewhere. I'm trying to find them now. Can I put everything all over the place and I can't find the caterpillar? Oh, there it is, the green worm. Yeah, the green worm is a D tier just because you spend a lot of time trapped in that chrysalis with them. But the outcome that comes after that, that's a very high tier. And I'm gonna put them on an A just because they have that extra thick form when you don't spend time with them. But also this looks saying maybe we should remove the limit on your list to add more variety since it seems like there would still be only a few even without a limit. Yeah, I would put maybe a couple more on that S tier if I didn't have a limit already. Okay, Papillon is an A tier, but it becomes an A plus tier if she becomes extra thick. That sounds good on paper, but don't butterflies die in like a week? If so, I don't wanna deal with the grief F tier. They're monster girls, so they probably have human lifespans too. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at this. Ooh. Okay, who are you? Parasite slime. Slime carrier. Ooh. Okay, so this is not exactly the girl you're looking at. That's the girl being infested by a parasite slime. Thicker flies, yeah. Absolutely amazing. Although they feed on men's sperm, they can assume the form of a woman, so they have a peculiar mode of life. They capture and infest human women. They then use their new hosts to attack human men. They also sometimes sneak into human settlements via cargo. Train their hosts using pleasure so that they can obtain plenty of sperm. As slime crawling around a host body will fluidly crawl all over her entire body, continuously pleasuring her. So they adjust their host body to become extra lustful and extra pleasurable. So your ranking the slime instead of the girl instead. Technically, yeah, what this creature is basically a slime parasiting this girl. It's kind of like the case with the what's called again, the Mad Hatter, where the actual monster was the head, but it's kind of parasiting the human below it. I'm still ranking it together with the whole package, but keep in mind, these are parasites. Okay, slime that have used with their host to function to support the transmission of pleasure to their host and boost the rate of essence absorption. The slime infesting the host can read her mind and automatically move, perform errands, or even eliminate foreign enemies. Okay, so it's technically a parasite, but it will protect its host too. Because it doesn't want its host to get any harm. My hair will be an S tier anyway because of free head, though. Yeah, absolutely. To get a free fungus head. She will use her slime to increase her family after making it divide. I don't know. She's still basically a human, but very slimy on the insides. I'm gonna give it a D. Because basically, she's no better than the Mad Hatter. Anyway, moving on. It is... Who are you? A phantom. Hey, dog outside, could you keep quiet, please? It is a ghost undead. A higher rank of parade of ghosts born from demonic energy, bound with the soul of a human who lost their body. That stands out among others as having especially strong mental power. Their bodies are spiritual and given form by demonic energy. Okay. They are freely able to touch or be touched by humans and physical objects if they wish so. They have a dignified brain suitable for a novel, but these beings are full of obscene thoughts. Okay, they are elegantly lewd. You say they enjoy these visions? They possess the ability to share their thoughts with others being possessed by them, and they even have the power to transmit their own fantasies. When they spot a man who strikes them fancy, they use this power to drag the man into their fantasy world, and then whisper of love and tempt him to have sex. Ghost blowjob. So they're basically powerful ghost spellcasters that can read minds and possess people. This power blurs the line between fantasy and reality for the person whom it was transmitted, and it's so powerful that the man will be convinced that he's actually one of the characters in their fantasy tale. It's even said that sometimes it not only affects the man who was targeted, but the people around him as well, dragging them all into the phantom's wild fantasy. A very powerful illusionist spellcasters, it seems. They like to play a lot of plays on illusion stage. Cool. So they lie to you? Basically, yeah, technically, yeah, they implant illusions on people's minds as if they were characters in a play. They'll end up being enjoyed together and have sex by the tale's end. Even if it took place within a vision, the love fostered between the two of them will definitely feel real, and it will remain without disappearing. It will likely be impossible to avoid the fate of becoming a married couple. Okay, I'm not a fan of lies. I am, although a fan of good plays, so I'm gonna give it a C. More mind shit, man. I just wanna fuck a ghost. Yeah. Maybe you find one and ask them to make a solo monologue for you. Anyway, next up, it is the big snake mummy. I think I drew this one before. Yeah, it seemed familiar. I did draw this lady before. It is the pharaoh, rulers of the desert who sleep within royal coffins, sleep within the ruins that dot the desert region. They are powerful beings that command the Anubis and Sphinx. Okay, if there's sufficient demonic energy, they may also be awakened by a man visiting their bedroom. Is that considered necrophilia? Yes, it is. Okay, the man who stood the sleep will be chosen as their eternal partner and will end up having the set to say the thousands of years of continuous slumber world of hunger and thirst with sex. Oh boy. Awesome, S tier. Cool. Alright. If you accidentally wake one of them, you are very much settled for life as their partner. They were monarchs commanded to guide humanity by a certain god, different from the current chief god. Okay, they have been enslaved for such a long time, many of them have vague memories. If they, with their godlike power, awaken, water gushes out and around the roots, trees spring forth and an oasis forms. The desert that was the land of death is reborn as a bright green demon realm. Humans and monsters guiding oases that appear in the desert. Eventually towns form, nations form, and they will go on to regain the shape of the former kingdoms. Egyptian outfits on ladies, 10 out of 10. I about to put this lady on an S tier. She gives me more than just being a royal lord, but she's almost there. The divine power of two limited people and devilish charm from awakening as a monster, the pharaohs possess mighty royal power. Of meeting a majestic pharaoh, one would spontaneously kneel, whether human or monster. They would be unable to go without obeying their orders that pass her lips. Their word is absolute, and even if the Sphinx wanted to shirk her duties and have sex with her husband, she'll have to just do what she's told and not do the sex. How about a real lord and a wife? They're still gonna be still gonna be below them because they are the pharaoh. If a man is ordered to be their husband, even a hero who came to slay them would happily offer up everything and feel honored to be sought as a partner. That's some absolute command skills going on there. You gotta be prepared if you ever wanna stop them. Those who can't resist are a handful of individuals who are either gods or have god-like power, or otherwise only the case when one rejects the content of the orders from the bottom of their heart. So maybe if you already have a waifu already, you can't reject them because the power of true love. That is something. They are basically friendly towards both humans and monsters. However, for some reason it seems they only do not think kindly regarding the order of the chief god. This is more lore that I don't remember. Alright, so yeah, if you're the unlucky ones who are just living among them, you can't reject them. You gotta be extra lucky if you wanna become their husband. So I don't think I can put them on the S tier yet. Because of that. Maybe an A or maybe a B if you're really on the lower class. If you're super lucky to wake them up and become their husband right away, then that's an absolute S, but the chances are very low, so an A tier seems fitting for the pharaoh. Egyptian aesthetic makes me come hard S tier. If you want, I will. Cool. Okay, next up it is this blue girl, the pixie. They are similar in appearance to fairies, which also belong to the fairy type, but unlike fairies, they have their natural is close to that of the succubi, and they are genuine monsters belonging to the imp family. It is said that the souls of dead children become pixies. Ooh, spooky. And perhaps for that reason, they are very fond of mischief. They lead humans who enter the forest astray and enjoy assaulting them and doing the snooze with them, even though they are very small. Their nature is very succubus-like, but just in a smaller package. They can use their magic to freely alter the size of their own body as well as a man's. They may change themselves to the size of a little human and have sex with a man. Or conversely, they may shrink a man who strikes them fancy and take him away to the fairy kingdom. They're gonna join you if you're not careful. So it's probably impossible to flee and wait for the effect to expire. Cool stuff. I like blue, but saying S tier is gonna get me on at least F tier. Well said, Danny. And they're absolutely dangerous, so if you don't have countermeasures against her joinking away, that's gonna be a D maybe. Very dangerous, very family-like. Next up, it is, oh, Spicy Lady. And let me close this window, I don't need it. It's a Pyro from Team Fortress 2. Deploy flamethrower. Oh, the dogs are fighting outside. A race of fiends that control fire are some minions of the great demons that rule the volcanic regions known as Balrogs. Since these hedonistic and uninhibited girls are eager to engage in lascivious behavior, as soon as they spot a human man will attempt to get their hands on them immediately. They stand out even among the succubus family, which is full of lustful girls and are known as a race that's highly aggressive and especially towards men. Amazing. Spicy in nature, spicy outside too. However, their sex with them seems often casual and frivolous. They give off a non-serious impression. They're absolute Metsugakis of the real world. I can trust no bitches with hoodies, S tier. My best friend will like her. They have a very cool design, and I am an absolute idiot for fire-based girls and whatnot. I love fire powers. Okay, they're gonna detect a man, and then we're gonna casually call them out and speak and gesture them in a sexual provocative manner. Link arms, lean the body against them, and trace your fingers over his penis above his clothes. Absolute dummies. And very playful Metsugakis. Okay. They use their power of fire to make their prey horny. Okay. Firing things up. What else? They can ignite a fire passion and arousal in men and freely increase its firepower. I saw that name, Danny, you can't hide it. Firebase is based. I should bring Aoife back at some point, but I honestly don't know what to do with her at the moment. I like their personalities. They don't seem that dangerous other than maybe potential burns. Nothing better than a hot steamy embrace. Just to heat up the passion, indeed. Provoke you. Okay, next up is, oh, the Queen Slime herself. Mutant slimes are called slime queens. As the name suggests, the main body is a queen found at the center surrounded by several divisions who appear to be servants. Typical slime ability to divide is flawed in their case. They can't store up sufficient nutrients while dividing, and as a result, they can become bloated. The divisions have different abilities than the main body, but all are under the control of the main body, the queen. Their consciousness, thoughts, and memories are all shared in common. There's a note here: as they continue to grow, divisions with various duties will be produced. Even one of them will want to have sex with the man who is king, and all of them belong to the king. Cool. Okay, you don't wanna get stuck in that because that's a lot of slime to try to get rid of. Okay, his fate is to spend the rest of his life continuously having sex in the middle of a harem of them. That's it. You get the bad ending of being snooze-nut for the rest of your life. Because there is no escape once you get stuck in there. S tier, but only the queen. Maybe you can get a hat, a slime hat. Queen slimes who continue to have sex with men grow in such a manner that they become almost like a village of slime. And they are referred to as slime kingdoms, as the size of the body of the queen itself becomes more and more immense. The intelligence of her divisions sharply rises. They can get mage slimes and mage knights, that's cool. And mage huntresses. And even merchant slimes to trade with other races. Imagine the amount of good you gotta pour in to get a slime kingdom running. Slimes with no specific duties will appear, such as divisions resembling the man's elder and younger sisters. They're not. Okay, there's a contradiction here because they say they're not intelligent here, but they are fundamentally driven by instinct. Even though it says the intelligence of her divisions sharply rises. Do the lovers suffer? No, because they are basically all the same hive mind of the queen. Cool, you get to become the king of the slime kingdom, but you are basically just there to provide the queen with goo yourself. You should make a tier of Pokemon girls based on their heads. If someone makes a tier like that, I'm gonna do it right away. It is dangerous, but you become a king of an entire kingdom, but then again, the only duty you're gonna have is basically have more sex with the queen. It is a scary situation. And you can't get away. You get stuck there forever. It's gonna be a nope for me. A bit too much slime going on and not enough outside life is outside being stuck there. I like the meme, the TF2 meme. You beat them and you get their head. Yeah. Do all of them have hats? I think there's a couple of them that do not have hats. Also, for a second there, I thought it was like a Pokemon girl, as in Pokemon turned into girl, but they had hats. Anyway, moving on. It is not a slime, finally. Let's see, who are you? Alright, you. I have a ton of girls to rate still. Okay, let me finish the R list here, and then we can actually finish this list next week. A race of ferocious beastmen that said to appear along with thunder and clad in lightning. They are spicy thunder cats. Oh! There are headlines that seek pleasure that pierces the body like lightning, who live for the sake of the moon of the coon, and they will attack and violate human without hesitation as soon as they spot them. They convert the pleasure coursing through their bodies into the power of lightning. Cool. Give me one sec, my cats are doing something funny. They may be casting lightnings themselves. One sec. Alright, that was that. Let's continue. So basically, they are lightning cats that can call out lightning and are powered by the goop. Okay, instead of faltering, they enjoy being repeatedly beaten by the cool after cool. It elevates their mood and activates their body. If a man is elected by a Raiju and becomes their husband, they will have to spend his days having intensely stimulating sex with a monster devoted to the pursuit of pleasure. Cool stuff. I don't know. I'd like to have something more than just sex in in my lightning cat, so maybe a D. Just not a leap. Where's Jidori? Oh, I didn't come back. There you go. I am back. It's nice a lot of thought is put into this, but at the same time, a lot of thought is put in this. Exactly. That's why these tier lists are the way they are. I wanna add more substance. It's just it's cute. Put it in C. It's cute. Goes to A. It's cute. Put on S. It's cute. Goes on F. You just can't rate waifus just by their looks. Well, maybe you can, but that's not what I'm looking for. Anyway, next one is the Ratatouille. And they have a large, fluffy tail. Look at that tail. I want to sleep on that tail. The race excels at handling information. They utilize their petite, agile body to run around all over and gather info with their superior eyesight and hearing, which is then shared among members of the same race. Yeah, unique network. They don't have high power or magical powers, but they have the power of information. You suffer from the time constraints is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, exactly. Uf, la besta waifu en directo. Yes, es la Ratatouille. Ratatouille best waifu. And let's see. Information brokers, they basically deal inaccurate information. However, having a malicious character, they enjoy impaling humans and drawing them into their world of pleasure, leading men and women to have indecent relations. By manipulating information, they inspire goodwill towards monsters, even in anti-monster adherents of the order. Cool. When obtaining a man of their own, they also make excellent use of information and create situations where which their target absolutely cannot escape from. Oh, they basically blackmail you. Just to make you not escape from them. However, they are a timid race by nature, and when push comes to shove and it's time to have sex with a man, they just might become bewildered, and they also often lose their nerve and flee when there's the perfect opportunity to get the coon. They plan for you, but they are super shy on bed. They are absolute bottoms. Unable to resist the man turning beast and being ravished by as he pleases. Blackmail tag F tier. Such. But if you... They have the power of information, but if you're smart, maybe you can overpower them. Maybe I see, because the fluffy tail. Okay, next up it is the... Oh, that's a red cap. That's a red cap. A race of goblins distinguished by the red cap they wear that appears bloodstained, as the name suggests. They're constantly driven by the urge to snoo. YouTube ruined the bed. Oh no! Okay, they are extremely ferocious monsters who assault men. They attack when their target is alone and defenseless. They display a terrifying aggression when assaulting a human, mercilessly slashing at him with a weapon in their hands. But instead of hurting their prey, the wounds grow hot and throb. There are no external wounds, nor it is life-threatening. But if it's seriously wounded, the body will be immobilized for a while. And then, when their prey is down, they will snooze them. Okay, what else do you have here? They will continue even when if the man shoots their goo. And they will be milked until they finally pass out. Okay. What else? The red stained caps of individuals who, while obtaining a husband, having sex again and again, having essence continuously poured inside them, have had their desires and urge satisfied, and will regain their original whiteness instead of the redness. Cool. I'll fuck no breaks. Until you stain them absolutely white with your white glue. When the cap is at a white state, and they will appear to be intoxicated and most will seem merely spaced out. And their ferocity or aggression is gone. And they become filled with love, literally. Then again, you gotta white them every now and then, or else they're gonna become absolute monsters in bed again. Also, I think I skipped 2 of them, which seems funny. Anyway, red cap, maybe a C. Cap S tier. Just because you can make them not violent. And if you're into absolutely violent, wild, unga bunga sex, then go for it. Okay, maybe the red Oni is next in this part. Yeah, that's the red Oni. Alright. Red Oni, the counterpart of the blue Oni we saw before. So basically, these are the muscles, and the blue Oni is the brains and muscles. And even they are not ferocious, they are big-hearted and good-natured monsters that don't fret over minor details. They love men and sake, and even more they like both together. And then you get the snooze nut when they are super drunk. And then they snooze nut, and then they drink, and then they snooze nut again. The endless cycle. If they end up liking you, they are not gonna release you. You're basically married to them. Alright. And you'll be taken into parties, but these parties will mean that you are gonna be the snack of all the Onis and monsters. Cool stuff. I heard from a friend calling with a strong woman is great. It must be the best thing ever. Okay, I guess maybe a B seems fitting for them. Or maybe this one. I mean, you're still gonna be taken away and maybe never come back, so... Also, I don't drink, which is a minus. You know what? D seems fitting for the red Oni. I hope she absolutely obliterates my cock with her club once she gets drunk. No, she is good-natured. She's not gonna do that. She is gonna obliterate it with her bagay. Anyway, moving on, the red slime. This is the counterpart of the blue slime. Red slimes are actually smarter than blue slimes, but they are fewer in number. They can emulate emotions that are almost entirely human compared with the blue slimes. They have rationality, and they are smart in the way they catch human. They may become fond of their human targets, so you can get a gooey red slime as a waifu. No, I don't want to change. I want to rate them. I think because they are not as dangerous and they are actually good slime girls, I'm gonna put them on a B. I can't drink. I got bad Asian blood and it sucks. Oof. Rip. No partaking with Onis then. Oh, cat scared me for a sec there. Anyway, moving on. Who's next? Oh, it's this girl. Who are you? It is the rain Xiong Mao. Like, how am I gonna take the edge off now without destroying my lungs? It is a mystery. Okay, she's basically a monster panda. Let's see. She's from the Mist continent. They have a large body but a gentle disposition and a social personality. And they can lead to people, so naturally they have a mysterious charm that many people are fond of. Yeah, I can see two big mysterious charms that I am fond of right now. Have a rare feeding habit of mainly consuming bamboo leaves and holding around bamboo while munching the leaves all day long. They excel at handling pole-shaped things. Can you imagine what those are? I'm swooning. Pretty sure pandas would absolutely rip you apart if they were motivated enough. S tier. Yeah, look at that. She's gonna rip everyone's pelvis right away. They're extremely curious. They like playing with men. They exhibit a gentle and mild behavior. Unable to endure their skillful pole technique that involves fondling it and taking it inside their mouth, the man being forced to play with them will end up entertaining them by shooting their goo. So you can't get away from her pole handling technique. They're absolutely soft in all the right areas. Alright. I'm gonna give them a B. Because I know they're good natured than anything, but I am not a fan of pandas myself, so... In my book, that gives them minus points. Anyway, moving on. Now we are talking. That's more my alley right there. I think I skipped another one of them, but this one is Ryu from Streets. I bet she loves water and dirt. My kind of girl. Reminds me of my girlfriend. She said she doesn't murder me. That's fine. Pandas won't murder you in this universe. She's gonna play with your pole and be gentle. A kind of dragon that inhabits the Zipango region. They're distinguished by having a long lower body like that of a lamia. They're basically dragon snakes. Cool. They swim freely through the water. One of the highest level monsters, they possess a power so awesome it can control weather. Please, Ryu, could you make rain outside? It's really hot right now. They are regarded sacred beings and worshipped as water gods by humans. Unless they were motivated enough. Yes. They are gentle and are full of benevolence, so they are monsters that aggressively attack humans. And they love being worshipped by them and will take their offerings. Okay, in parallel with their husbands, they ordinarily impose dignified figure of a god is nowhere to be seen. Instead, they reveal a side of themselves that's sweet and devout, befitting of a monster of Zipangu. Okay, they are absolute waifus. Their husbands aren't unable to resist, and the amount of time they spend coupling makes the amount of time ordinary monsters spend coupling also pale in comparison. Ooh. Yeah, they're gonna super suck you. They perform a ritual of rain calling when requested by humans. However, in order for them to control weather, they need a vast amount of demonic energy, especially in instances where they need to control the weather for several days in a row. So they gotta get the human essence in order to get their awesome weather powers. Their husbands also have to have sex with them constantly for 3 days and nights, continuously pouring in essence, just to make her rain. Cool. Okay. There's one scale out that's growing backwards called a reverse scale. You should never touch this scale. The real will be overwhelmed by a rush of pleasure so intense that it almost causes them to lose all sense of rationality and self-control. So their tail tip is basically their G spot. They will become beasts who can't think of nothing but having snooze move. So do not touch the scale unless you wanna get your hips broken. They can temporarily change into the form of massive dragons. Hope you get breaks. I'm gonna end soon. I'm gonna just end the R here and then go to bed. I mean, they're absolutely amazing dragon ladies for sure. Although I'm not sure if I would like to have constant sex for 3 days and night just to get some rain in. Tickle her tip. No, that's scary. Bee seems fine. They're not bad dragons. They are just very starved of energy. Also, this one didn't show up, but the last R one here, and it is the roper. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely skip it. Let me grab the folder here and show it on stream. Roper, let's go. That is one scary parasite too. That's a parasite. Okay, what can you tell me about the roper, Encyclopedia? Strange monsters that have the human upper body and gelatinous lower body, like that one of a slime, from which long tentacles grow. It has been suspected that they may be a variety of plant-type monster, but the truth is uncertain. Ropers that start out appearing as egg-like shell-covered spherical objects. Adult ropers seize human women with their tentacles and shove their ovipositor tentacle into their human's special hole to implant these roper eggs. And then the roper will sprout like a plant, extending a small tentacle. It will spread its roots in the host woman, and fuse with her. Tentacles? No, thank you. I'm okay with tentacles as long as they do not are parasite creatures that will turn you into one of them. The host's lower body will change to become gelatinous like that of slime, and numerous tentacles will appear from there. Okay, they need the human good to grow up. Tentacles wrapping around their body and rope quite roughly. And ropers will constantly self-pleasure their host. Ringworm mommy. This is what you get when you eat uncooked pork meat. So be careful. After enticing a man in this fashion, when he draws near and takes the bait, he'll be seized by the tentacles and have their goo milked out of him. An ex-human that became an adult roper in this manner will have become one with it, so she'll be able to control the tentacles with her own will, as if they were her own arms and legs. However, because of the fusion, she'll become mentally deranged by the pleasure. POV 2 raw pork, exactly. So she becomes a never-ending, lustful machine of tentacles. After they collect a lot of goo, they'll produce a new roper egg and will attack a human woman and implant the egg inside them in order to propagate her race. That's how ropers multiply. Gross at the poor bigness. Yeah, that's a very sad fate for them, and I am not one to like the worms inside their body, so I'm gonna go into a noob. No, thank you. I'll pass. All right, we are only a few monsters away now. From the S to the C. We are almost done with this list, so maybe next week we can finish this, finally. Let's take a final look at this. We finally got our final S tier for now. Moving down. The C tier is absolutely big. Anyway, thank you guys for watching tonight. I'm gonna save this before anything happens. Save. Wi-Fi's. Oh, are you gonna move away? Okay. That's fine. Anyway, S to the I to the M to the P. Exactly. That's the truth here. Fun stream as always. See you next time. Yeah, thank you for coming, and thank you. Sorry for keeping you for 2 hours and a half again. Remember when I said that I was gonna fix my sleep schedule, and here I am streaming for this long. Fun times indeed. Alright, I'm gonna end this amazing music that kept me awake and in high spirits. Thank you. And there will be stream on Saturday, but I don't know yet what stream, but I may stream some platformers and whatnot, so look forward to it. And with that, I'm finally going to bed dream about monster wives and whatnot. Let me remove this scary one. I don't want to look at that one. That's better. Yeah, I'll take that. And yeah, you guys take care, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. I need to hit the hay. 3 hours of sleep is awesome. Amazing stuff. Sleep well, Danny, and thank you for coming. Okay. Yeah, take care, everyone, and see you all next time. Bye bye.